So I'm going to talk about something that's kind of a hot topic in Grand Fantasia, and I know that my opinion differs from a lot of people, but I know I'm not the only one who knows this because I've talked to people about the economy in Grand Fantasia and in Origin. And yeah, no, people are kind of afraid to say this because everybody's kind of, like stuck on the economy's bad, it's hard to get gold, and dungeon runs are the meta, and we miss when we could do like this and that. But I'm here to tell you that I think it's actually great that they have a dungeon cap. So in old Grand Fantasia, what literally ruined the game was removing the dungeon caps. That's what made the gold economy crash, because if you can do unlimited dungeons and unlimited mission orders, then the gold will just keep raising and raising. And this is why clays ended up being a source of, finance in there. So for those of you who don't know and didn't play old Grand Fantasia, people used to have like multiple characters with banks full of clays. As you know, clays are used for the, sprite alchemy, but these clays had a different reason for collection. So what we would do was we would use clays in exchange for gold, because gold was so meaningless that we needed to have it represent something. So I think I remember at one point, I don't know what it's at now. I know that there's still a few people who play Grand Fantasia, but the game's fairly dead. So honestly, it probably raised more. But clays at one point were worth 400 gold per clay. And you would just have bank loads of that. And that's how you would pay for things. Nobody wanted gold. Literally nobody wanted gold. It was useless. And here, it still has a use, and it's still worth something. I still recommend hoarding clays because I've seen the clay prices raise steadily as I've been playing this game. It's doubled since I last paid attention to the price of clays. It has doubled. I remember when it was 35, it's now about 70. If you remove the cap off of dungeon runs, a lot more people are going to be making more gold, and gold is just going to tank. So it's kind of like game economies are kind of like real economies. You can't just make more money and expect things to work out. It makes the actual like currency value a lot less. And I don't want to talk about finances that much, but I just know it's hot button. And it's just not good for the game. It also started to breed like the culture of running things solo, which that was the goal. Like people stopped running in dungeon parties and they would run solo. So they would build their character to run solo, and because you could do unlimited dungeon runs, or eventually they capped it at 10 mission orders per day. So let's just say 10. You can do 10 mission orders per day and you get gold from the mission orders. You would have as many alts as you could to fill a party, and you would just run your alts through these dungeons to get gold for yourself. And yes, you could get a lot of gold, but the gold was worthless. So the best way you can actually, survive in a market is not by just increasing the amount of times you can run the dungeons or taking the cap away. It's by learning how to make gold in different means. Everybody recommends dungeon runs, but dungeon runs are not the only thing you should be doing to make money in this game. If you're doing that, I understand why you're stressed out, because you do make gold, but it's not enough. It's good for supplementing. I mean, dungeons have good uses. Like, you can get a lot of materials from dungeons that you need for building, or, it's just good. It's good, but it shouldn't be the only thing you're doing. And if you want to remove the cap from dungeons, just keep in mind, that's why we have Origin now. If it wasn't for the fact that Grand Fantasia died, starting with that, we wouldn't have Origin now. Which, yeah, you guys are playing Origin, but like, we had GF. We originally had it. It's still there. But yeah, I don't want to see this game crash and burn out like Grand Fantasia did. So yeah, just the ramblings of a boomer Grand Fantasia player. But I just had to get it off my chest. You do not want to remove the limits off of dungeons. That is the start of a downward spiral that's going to ruin this game too. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. This has been a ramble video, but I felt like talking about it just because I've just been thinking about it for a long time. So hopefully you guys at least take this well. I'm allowed to have opinions. You're allowed to have opinions. I played old Grand Fantasia for years, so I saw some of its downfall. And some of the downfall happened before I even played. Again, I'm rambling again. Anyways, we'll see you next video. Bye.